Welcome back to Karins Orchids, and I hope you're doing fine. And this is going to be a repot or not repot video on my Röllke orchid haul. And these guys has been lying here in my kitchen on the table for a few days now, just waiting for me to get some spare time to deal with them. I just cannot wait. At least it's time for these guys to get some water. So as you can see, I have not yet pulled off the the paper. So I think they're all in need of some irrigation by now. I'm gonna start with this one, a surprise. It's not an orchid, as you can see, it's a hibiscus. The one I showed you last time. Look at it, isn't she a beauty? And I also showed you my new air cooler, an air humidifier, air cleanser, all in one, 3-in-1 machine. I wasn't so lucky with it. I happened to pull out the plug to the bottom, and 6 liters I was just pouring out on my floor. And I needed a little bit more safety in my apartment, so I had to, I mean, if that happened again, that accident, well, there will be consequences. So I moved him. Oh, I got a few repottings going on my stove. Yeah, never mind my stove. This is the machine, the Adler. Yeah, it's here at the sink. So if it happens again that the water, either if I pour in too much water and, well, without noticing it, it will all pour out through the sides and go down there, but it won't go down on the floor. It will hopefully go down into my sink here. Yes, and, well, here's the where you can measure the amount of water, the indicator. You can see it's halfway up, 6 liters left. And if we walk up here, whoa, you can see here, cool, off, low, mid, high swing. Yeah, you can read for yourself. But this swing thing is that this one, I don't know what it's called, but it moves, this way, this direction, and it turns direction automatically. And here on top, you pour in some water. Here's for the cooling part, these two guys. You're supposed to put them in your freezer for a while. So I put them in here at nighttime, closed it, turned on the cool button, and switched on low. I think that's enough, just about enough with low speed. And I got up to, this morning when I woke up, I had 83% humidity and 24 degrees. And now it's 26 degrees, and, well, the temperature naturally rises throughout the day. So, well, I don't think the cooling effect is so efficient. But the humidifying effect, yeah, it's quite satisfying. But the sound of it, I mean, it sounds quite awful. So, let's deal with the plants. I'm going to start with the little Angrecum leonis. Yes. Yay! Off you go. Just take it out of its pot and see. Yeah, the roots are alive. They are sturdy, except for this one, perhaps. This little one. Oh, little one, I don't know, but this one. And this one is okay. This one is, yeah, but not much new going on. But it's a lovely little guy, and the best part is that I now got Angrecum leonis Comoros Islands. So, now I have 2 varieties of Angrecum leonis. Hooray for me! That was my goal. I didn't know it. This is my old Angrecum. It's a huge difference in size now. I think it was about this size when I got it, not much larger. But you can see the leaves on this one is much fleshier. Well, a little bit fleshier. They usually are fleshier. This one hasn't got so many roots yet, but you can see that there are some good root growth going on down there. with branching root tips. So this one is on its way of recovering, and it will have fleshy leaves before long. So it's nice to have two different varieties. Dark green, fleshy leaves, a little bit more light green, bent, flimsy leaves, if you want to put it that way. So, very pleased. So, now, what to do with this guy? Let's use the Wickman free sprayer, my little present from Wickman, and see what happens when I spray them. Yeah. They look like they're very much alive, most of them, so I'm not going to mess around with them. It will be placed in this size pot into semi-hydro with a mixture of 2 to 6 millimeter Lucke beads and a few little bit larger Lucke beads inside here as well, just because it feels good. No, just would be a little bit too I think a little bit too much pressed down with only the small ones. Okay. This guy will stay in here for some considerate amount of time. So it feels great to have one Angrecum from Madagascar, the island, shall we say, and one from the Madagascar island nearby Komoro. Now, like this. I would like to add some rocks on top. As always, keeps the humidity down and the evaporation a little bit better. And you know what? You know what I forgot? The wick. But never mind. It's such a damp, small size media, and I think it will be, yeah, good enough for it anyway. And I wouldn't want to have added to the sides, even though it's a bit frosted, this post. Well, just to be safe, on the safe side, put it into this black plastic pot. And finally, into this plastic mug. This one is much smaller than the smallest white container I usually use nowadays for semi-hydroponics. As you can see, this one is going to take up less space for me. So it's going to be perfect. Well, I don't think, yeah, I think I do have to make some, have to do some staking here. Staking up. This method. The same method I used for the other one when it was too wobbly in its pot, in its semi-hydro. And I wanted it to stay upright and not to be too flimsy. So, like this. And tie them together, the sticks, a bit only, just so it stays in place. Yeah. Now, she's ready for some action. I think that I will make 2 holes here and make a little reservoir here with my solder pen. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Then I don't even have to touch it. I can just bring my, perhaps my sprayer or my watering can and pour in some water without even looking. So, and it will pour out, the excess water will pour out by his own machine. It's going to be simple and easy enough to take care of this guy. And I do hope this one will grow on quite fast. So, this is how it's going to be. This high water reservoir for my Angrecum. Yay! I filled it up with water. I think it will be deep enough reservoir for it. Well, that will reveal itself in a while. I can always redo this repotting, of course, if it tends to be too dry for it. And let's make some more holes to cup number 2. Since we got yet another Angrecum to deal with, and this one is Angrecum Eclerianum, and this one reminds me a bit of my Angrecum Didieri. The same size, the same growing habit, the same looking leaves, really similar, except for this one being a bit more light green than Didieri, but I guess it varies. And it sits in rock wool and coconut husk fiber and regular medium-sized bark. For now, it does. But not after my treatment. It's going to be semi-hybrid for this guy as well. Let's see about his roots. Greening up. And dead ones? Well, not so much. I think, yeah, actually, they are all alive. Yeah, nothing to cut off here. So, good. So, the same procedure goes for this guy. Small size Lucke. But this one's roots a lot longer. So, we'll just fill the bottom up with a small amount of Lucke to start with. And see too that it goes down. They're quite sturdy and stiff, the roots, for belonging to such a tiny guy. And as you can see, I learned my lesson and put the Lucke beads into water. A little bit more difficult to work with, but, well, I think I'm going to get some good stuff in return. Okay. Tap it to distribute it a bit, of course. And now some of the roots are sticking up here, but I don't think it matters. I think it's good for it, so the base won't rot off. If it's prone to do that, I don't know. I've been using Lucke on small Angrecums for far too short period of time, so I cannot say anything about it yet. But in a short while I can. I didn't use the wick on this one either. So the two guys I mean, that was on purpose. I did it on purpose. So I know when to order these guys. I think I can have some kind of simultaneous schedule for them, as they are the same size, sitting in the same kind of pot, are the same kind of genus, and so on and so forth. Okay, a black outside container, a mug with holes in it, water reservoir, and we're done with Angrecum Eclerianum. And the next purchase in the spotlight is Bulbophyllum fascinator. A really, really lovely one. Such a smashing, amazing flowers. And here's a photo of it in bloom. It's from a friend of mine from our Orchid Society, Eric Bäckström, and I got permission from him to use this picture. It's a gorgeous one, and as I said, I had this one before and it failed, since I got one without any roots, and, well, it didn't really, never, ever really recover well for me. Okay, so that's why I got another one. And you know what? I'm running out of space a little bit. So I just figured, as you can see, this one, it's another bulbophyllum. It's this crazy one, a little bit peculiar one. Bulbophyllum gutulatum. The one with, yeah, it also got lovely flowers. I mean, really gorgeous, different flowers for being a bulbophyllum. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about this orchid, but I sure will show you something today. It's sitting in bark, charcoal, and a little bit of rock wool. And it's better for it. Well, I think it's, well, it may be difficult for you to understand why I'm saying that this one is doing better, but it is. It's got a strange growing habit on getting rid of the pseudobulbs. They are all rotting off before he produces some new growth. You can see to both sides. But as I said, I needed some space, so I will take it out from its pot. This one is soggy. It's going to come off. Yeah, just as easy as that. And it's going to be a community pot with this one, as I know that this one is not going to get any larger. Not in my conditions, at least. But it did bloom for me 1 year later, so, well, I must have been doing something right with it. Well, these two slow growers together in a community pot. Yeah. And I'm going to use the same kind of mixture that I used for my curling purchase, my latest curling purchase, Bulbophyllum auratum. This one holds the moisture, retains the moisture for exactly the amount of time, length of time that I prefer. Lovely. Well, it's all cleaned up, and this one has really not got a root system to brag about either. So I guess these guys are a little bit difficult to grow roots on. But there's going to be changes to that. The mixture will be some charcoal. Whoops. Cut into quite small pieces. Just a bit. Yes. And I soaked the coconut husk fiber. And I sorted out, shall we say, the chunkiest pieces from the more husk-like soft pieces. I want the small pieces. Some perlite. Use some of the old rock wool. See no reason to throw it away, since I forgot to order some new ones. But I will order some new ones in my next purchase from perhaps Schwerter or Orchid Garden. A couple of friends here on YouTube, I mean, they really do think that Orchid Garden has got quite nice plants. And I've been buying a lot from Orchid Garden a couple of years ago, when they were having their eBay shop, Orchid Sklepik, well, yeah. And, well, I got reasonable good plant, I think. Some of them a bit small, but some of them were really lovely. And good shipping cost and good price on the orchid. But, well, I saw on YouTube that they were badly shipped and received all wet and rotten. Yeah. So I didn't really dare to try their web shop. I thought eBay was okay, but the web shop, Well, so I never really took the chance with them again. But I almost placed an order from them a couple of weeks ago. I can admit that. But well, when I came to check out, I just withdrew it. But, well, yeah, I will buy a few orchids from Orchid Garden's web shop later on this season. My goal is in August, but if I know myself right, it will be in a month. Yeah. because I saw quite a lot of good Phalenopsis that I would like to have, but well, some of them were out of stock, so you would have to be notified when they are back in stock again. So, well, I would just have to wait and be patient and resist this time, so I really get the ones that I want. And they do have rock wool. Yeah, get to the point. Okay, this is the media. You can squeeze it. You can form it into the shape of a ball. It's really, really easy to work with. It's smooth. Yes. Little pot. And I'm not going to use anything to the bottom, since these two guys needs their humidity. And this guy, Gutillatum, is growing in 2 directions. I might as well stay on this side. And the other one has got a new growth. Here. And yeah, appropriate to place it here, I think. And I think it's going to be quite wobbly, so I will have to stake it up a bit in there. Really, really nice mixture. And it eased my workload a bit again. So now I will have some more time to actually enjoy my orchids. Watch them grow, watch them flower. Not only being stressed out by keeping up the heavy watering routine. Okay? And I'm going to press the media a bit. As you can see, it takes a lot of media. It's quite porous, even though it doesn't seem that way. And this one will bloom in September from its new growth. So it's still got a few months to develop them, the Gutillatum. Stake it up. And hopefully I will get some new lovely young orchid seedlings, bulbul seedlings from Röllke at the orchid show in Lund in a couple of months. I really do hope that they will open up. Let's be hopeful. Bulbophyllum Gutillatum. Here. Bulbophyllum fascinator. There. Hanger. Here. So now I save some space. Perfect. And place it into a more decent media and got rid of the rotting pseudobulb. And now I got some control over these two guys. Perfect. And here we have the large size Epidendrum, Epidendrum. The one with the smashing flowers with a color combination worth dying for. Orange, pink, yellow. Yeah. The father of René Marquez and all of its hybrids, shall we say. But the crucial part with this guy is if it loses its root system. Yeah. What more can I say? It loses it all. That's what happened to all of my Epidendrum crosses. As for Flamethrower and Digbiana times René Marquez. Yeah. I lost them all due to poor root growth. Okay? Since I happened to place them into a lot drier and more sunny position. And yeah, that took them. Alright? It wasn't even scale this time. It was drying out too much and burning the leaves, a real strange thing. And it happened simultaneously to all 3 of them. But this one's roots are quite dreadful, as you can see. But I'm not angry or anything, as I can see that it's got some lovely new roots and growing root tips. So this one is going to be a perfect candidate for, yeah, you guessed it, semi-hydro. I would just clean it up. There was a time when I followed Dan's channel and I watched all of her videos. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. And when she switched to semi-hydroponics, well, I ceased watching, all right? I only watched her in bloom and spike videos. Since I thought and believed that I couldn't keep my orchids in semi-hydroponics in my conditions. Since I already tried it out. I tried it on one and I failed, and I would never ever try it out again. That was my way of thinking, all right? I was consistent not to use semi-hydro. No. But, what is this? It's an orchid I would like to show you. It's the one from, I think, my latest purchase. From a Wickman purchase. Neovita SE flamethrower. This one has got seved epidendrum in it, as its parent. And it's been sitting here for a while now. And you can see, the roots are still green, alive and kicking. And I also gave it a little water reservoir now. So, these guys can adapt really well. That's why I'm going to use it for the father of them all. Seved epidendrum as well. And it's going to stay in same size pot as the hybrid. This time I won't forget, I was about to say forget, but I won't forget to place the wick to the bottom. A green, nice new microfiber cloth on the table. Now cut. You know, I didn't know really how to manage semi-hydroponics. I just thought, yeah, you can put a Cattleya orchid, not in growing stage, in the middle of the winter, into a large water reservoir. Yeah. And you all know what happens, of course, it will rot. And I said, this is not for me. No, this is not for me. And boy, what did I miss out on? A lot. A lot of ease of workload. So, Lucke beads from IKEA. Well drained, really well cleansed. Quite small size this time, so it will be okay. And it's mixed up with a little bit of charcoal. Cut it up that high. The root system will not extend that much. Orchids has got a lot more extended root system this guy has. My experience. Well, it's not easy to say where its new growth is going to be after this one, so, well, we'll stay in the middle. And it's a bit wobbly, so I'm going to use stakes to both sides, as I did for my Angrecum Leonis. Up here, somewhere. For now, until it establishes a good root system. It will need 2 stakes. Now into this spot. And now it's ready. Epidendrum, seved epidendrum, into semi-hydroponics 9 cm plastic pot. IKEA Lucke beads with a few pieces of charcoal, some rocks to the top, and a wick. Microfiber wick. Yes. A real favorite of mine. And these guys are really thirsty, so this will be great for them. This one, I believe, is a species, Epidendrum Melanoporphyreum, now repotted as well. Looking great, and the roots were better than I expected, so they were alive, just a little bit discolored. And this little cute fella is my Paphiopedilum lovii. And this lovii guy, he really did have an eye for beautiful things. As you surely recognize this lovii guy as the registrator of Dimorphocus lovii as well. So, of course, this guy had to name a lovely Paphiopedilum as well. This one is smaller than expected, but it was a seedling in a way, but almost 10 euro. But yeah, we got one the same size from Schwerter last year as well, so some of them are a little bit more expensive. And it's been thrown around in this bark media, which it cannot stay in, since it's going to be too dry for it in my environment. But I was really hoping for the roots to be a bit better. So this one is going to be a struggling one. A real struggling one. For me. Perhaps a sign, a little sign of a new root there. You can see the little ochre-colored bump. But there's really not much else going on here. They are dead. So I don't have any, that much hope and expectation for this guy to survive. Sorry to say that. But I will try, and I will give it a go. With my mixture that I just came up with. Yeah, you want to know what it contains? It won't be so surprising, but a little bit of rock wool. Gonna make a really small amount here. Some coconut husk fiber. Yes. A little bit of sphagnum moss. Cut into pieces. Where's the scissors? It's hiding. Yes, real small pieces. Like this. So it will be smooth to work with. And a bit of perlite for drainage, as well as it keeps a little bit of moisture as well. And I got a package of bone meal, benmjöl in Swedish. Just gonna add a few pieces, like this. So now mix the media up, and I would like to use a plastic pot. Small size plastic pot, but I would like to see the roots. So I'm going to use this frosted container, and afterwards I'm going to place it into a little bit larger black one, so I won't get any algae to the sides. Yay! Because I would like this one to sit in this media for a while to get adjusted and stabilize, and in due time create a good new root system. Whoops. Even though I'm not so positive about this guy's future, I will pretend that I am. It will be much easier. This one will do. I don't have so many outside black containers that are large enough to hold this one. So this is how it's going to be. Media. The poor little orchid. Down you go. It's a shame. This one could be such a lovely one. And I haven't seen it anywhere else except for that. For this one. So, since I now know that it's lacking roots, I see no point in dip water this guy. Or anything of the sorts. So, and it's unstable in its pot, wobbling around, just like the Angrecum. Same treatment goes for this guy. Stake on both sides. Just as simple as that. Yes. Maybe I don't even need stripe around it. It stays in place like this. And a little taggy. Paphiopedilum lovii. Yeah, and into this little square pot. Alright. That one's done. Now it's time for my little Cattleya species, Cattleya guttata, the one with spotted, lovely greenish colored flowers. I had this one before, and the scale practically snagged the base of the pseudobulbs off and left it with black rot to the base. Fast growing, vigorous, easy blooming plant. So I just figured I would like to get a new one. It's quite small, but it's healthy. That is too dry. So I want to shift the media. Some new root tips here. And, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to place this one into semi-hydro. I don't think so. Not yet, at least. I will give it a year or two before I do anything radical to this one. It's not so common these days, this species. Quite a few bad roots. Dry roots. Papery ones. But okay, now I'm sure you wonder what I want to place it in. It's going to be coconut husk fiber, perlite. Nothing more, nothing less, just as simple as that. A bit of perlite. Cattleya type orchids love perlite. It's coming out a new growth there. So there's going to be some new roots before long. Beautiful. I got the idea of placing Cattleya seedlings into coconut husk fiber chips from a guy, shall I say a guy? No, he's called Daniel. And he had a shop in eBay, Blue Cattleya. And all of his seedlings arrived, potted up this way in coconut husk fiber. And his advice to us, buyers, was to let them stay in this media, in the frosted little pot for 1 year to make the roots establish a bit. And boy, did I get good root growth on my Cattleyas. Yeah. Bark, it's too dry for me to use bark here. Unfortunately, I tried it, but then I would have to water it every day. And if I have over 200 orchids, it will be quite of a challenge. So, yeah. Good. Yeah, doesn't need a stake. All it needs is this little beautiful tag. Cattleya guttata, a species, a lovely one. Spotted one, guttata. I think guttata meant spotted, or yeah, freckled or something like that. If you look it up, yes, voila. And where did this little yellow, beautiful, yellow-flowered fella come from? Yeah, somebody just put it into my trolley at IKEA yesterday. I don't know who it was. So I just figured I had to buy it. It was an omen of some sort. Well, I love the flowers. And as this is a color combination I'm after on a species or a hybrid Phalenopsis. But that one I seem to never be able to find, so I will have to make do with this lovely one instead. A small sized one. Yeah, as I seem to be hooked on Phalenopsis orchids for now. And in 2 months there will be something else. Perhaps my Paphiopedilums or such. Yeah. And this beautiful one. Shall I say the purpose of my order? Phalenopsis Amboinensis variation Simanis. The replacement plant in spike. Well, I need the pot. I need the pot for my bulbos. And I also would like to see what's in the pot. And good roots. That's what's in the pot. Good roots. That would now be transitioned from bark media, bark mixture, bark, sphagnum moss, and stuff. And now it's going to be transitioned into sphagnum moss and perlite. So I'm going to clean him up. And this one has got some mold to it. The yellow one, that is. So, and this coconut husk shell, or whatever it is. But it's going to be easy enough to release it from that one. This time at least. So, good. The roots on this guy are okay. And that's just about it. Okay. Some black root tips in places, which I don't fancy. Yes. So, good thing I took it out of this dreadful media. Okay. But I'm sure it will adapt, since it's used to be sitting in such a damp, water-retentive media as coconut husk fiber. Okay. And as for this one, I'm not really sure if it's free from pests. So I'm going to spray it with this one, Pure Soul spray, before I pot it up. And the blooms won't be affected by this repotting. So that's the good thing with Phalenopsis. As for the other one, Simanis, that's got a spike. So I'm not really scared that they will fade or blast. So what now? 2 mugs. Soak some new sphagnum moss. Put a bit of it and press it to the bottom. And now it's all wet, this sphagnum moss, so I squeezed it a bit. As you can see, it's in water. But I would like to keep it in long strands, so I'm not going to cut it. Fresh, beautiful New Zealand sphagnum moss. Up on the table. And some perlite to it. Bad thing that perlite always ends up being like a powder instead of pieces. But, well, not much to do about, I guess. Okay, now take this lovely Amboinensis variation Simanis orchid and place a large amount of moss around it. Yes. Try to get it down into the pot by moving it in circles a bit. Would like to get it down a little bit more. So, get rid of some media. So the new roots won't be on the outside. Yeah, you see my point. Yeah, now, perfect. Perfect. It's deep down. And it's a leaning one, of course. They should lean, but the new roots often comes out here. And if it leans too much to the side, they will point upwards to the sky. And the root tips will dry off and the roots will stop growing. I've seen it far too many times. So, for now, I'm trying to keep my Phalenopsis a bit more upright. Yes. A bit like this. And now it's ready. Easy peasy, I think. Ready. It's always easier to transition an orchid from bark media to sphagnum moss than the other way around. So, I think this is going to be great. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye guys, thank you so much for watching.